Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. As always, a free way to support the channel is by leaving a like, by commenting, or by subscribing if you have not already done so. Still a bit under the weather, however, there's tons of cryptocurrency news, and without further ado, let's jump right into it. At the moment, the cryptocurrency market is slightly in green. Nearly every single price article is of the mindset that something fantastical is about to currently take place. It says Ethereum is showing signs of a fresh rally, but $4,100 is the key. Over the last week or two, we've had news that as long as Ethereum stays or passes by $4,000, and I guess the $4,100 hurdle as well, we should see some significant price movement upward. Once again, the Santa Claus rally idea is still there somewhere. I'm not really sure where it came from, but it is one of the most discussed things in the cryptocurrency market right now. It says, is this the silence before XRP's typhoonic, move towards 50% gains? For those of you who don't know, XRP is having an airdrop with a company called Balubala or Babalu. I don't know. I really don't know what it's called. Wait, it's probably somewhere around here. It's not solo. Is it Sologenic? It's probably Sologenic. Anyway, there's an airdrop happening for people who own or holding XRP, and I believe the snapshot is happening on Christmas Eve. We went over this yesterday. The point is XRP's price continues to rise. We've seen this before. It usually has to do with, once again, people are accumulating as much XRP as humanly possible to be able to make the most of this airdrop. Once again, if you are interested in this, contact your actual cryptocurrency exchange as opposed to trying to do it yourself. It's just a lot easier, and you'll be able to know that, you kind of get what I'm saying, because it's not worth it doing it in your own and then kind of messing up on it. On top of that, it says Bitcoin gains momentum. Why rally isn't over yet? All the price news was incredibly optimistic. We had a good week or two where prices, or rather the news about prices, were kind of like, can we recover? Will we recover? Are things going to be okay for the market? The news that we had yesterday price-wise was that Bitcoin, what was it? That we had double bottomed or something like that. It was this constant, we couldn't get lower than a certain amount, and therefore we were bouncing off of that continual support. And the number constantly being that Bitcoin has to pass by $50,000 in order to actually move the entire rest of the market. It says Bitcoin nears $50,000 or 50K. Ethereum moves higher. XRP and Luna rally. Yeah, very good price news. It's nice to see an entire day in green. Once again, prices are still incredibly low. I'm not sure realistically if the market is waiting for Bitcoin to pass by 50,000, why the whales are waiting so long to pass by 50,000. If simply things will really get moving in Q1 of next year, simply because this is a time frame that we heard about Ethereum's upgrade, and therefore if Ethereum moves higher, the altcoins tend to do the exact same thing. Nobody knows, and that's the magic and mystery of the cryptocurrency space, because no matter how much you think you understand something, no, the cryptocurrency market makes absolutely no sense. And yeah, that's all the price news, at least for now. And let's move on. In one of the most popular news stories of the day, it was like, okay, Shiba Inu whales are on the move, and it appears they see the current market condition as appropriate for adding to their positions. A single person, a single account, bought over 4 trillion Shiba Inu tokens worth $136 million in the past 24 hours. It says Whale Stats, a tracker that follows the 1,000 richest Ethereum addresses and their activity, revealed that one whale added 4 trillion Shiba Inu tokens in the past 24 hours. I don't know what's going on. Probably a very small few amount of people actually understand what's going on in this market right now. The amount of Shiba Inu news, I'm actually surprised, because I wholeheartedly expected the last 4, 5, 6 months to be not dominated by Dogecoin news, but I expected to only be talking about Dogecoin news in the news. But it's Shiba Inu. It's constantly everywhere. People are constantly talking about it. I'm not sure if this person bought a huge amount of it because they are anticipating the next coin burn, if something's going to be happening. The idea, once again, is Shiba Inu going to 1 cent per coin. And I assume this person easily would become a multi-billionaire from this move. So this was one of the most popular news stories of the day. I only have one tab open because it seemed ridiculous to show you constantly that one whale bought 4 trillion Shiba Inus, but I hope they sleep well. I don't know what should I be wishing them at all. They're extremely rich. So anyway, that's the Shiba Inu news because there's always Shiba Inu news. And let's move on. Also in popular news that I would have never expected would have been popular news, Kraken, the cryptocurrency exchange, has purchased the cryptocurrency staking platform Staked. It's called Staked for an undisclosed sum. This would be its 5th major acquisition this year. It says Kraken is stepping up its crypto game after a successful year. The U.S. exchange decided to close 2021 with the acquisition of Staked, thus expanding its token staking capabilities and generally improving the quality of its services. Staked is a non-custodial crypto staking platform which facilitates the secure storage of assets while proving attractive yield for investors. There's no real numbers anywhere floating around here, but this was one of the most popular news stories of the day. Typically, we get more flashy news that ends up being in the cryptocurrency spotlight, but for some reason, people really cared about Kraken acquiring the company Staked. I've never used Staked. I'm going to be honest. I didn't even know that Staked was a website, a platform. I just assumed it was something that was within the cryptocurrency space. And when I say there's no numbers, normally you'll get something on Staked, they offer 8%, while this other website may offer only 4.5%. Cool. I think it's awesome. I told you all before, 2 years ago, but even more so now, I believe that staking is going to kind of be the future of finance. We can't necessarily stake Bitcoin. You can loan out Bitcoin, what have you, but I think the actual staking coins are going to be the way for people to make money in the future. I still believe in a world, and not even that, whatever. The point is, I think we're going to see huge amounts of automation. You see it already, but I think in the next 20 years, it's going to be almost impossible, air quotes, to have a normal job. I think everything will be digital, or anything physical will be done by machines. Driving, building, what have you. Have you seen the gigantic 3D printer that's I think it's building homes in Dubai. I think it was in Dubai. But it looks very futuristic, and if it works there, it's going to start working everywhere else, and it's just a matter of time before all these things go on. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. The point is, Kraken has acquired Staked. It says for an undisclosed sum. I don't expect them to have to tell us how much they spent on something. As long as, they purchase something, I don't really, I don't think anyone actually cares. But yeah, that's the Kraken Staked news. Popular news. And let's move on. Also, in actually super popular news as well, and not that I thought it was a joke, but it seems to be a common trend in the cryptocurrency space. And I'm talking about this because I know that people on the channel when I discuss ways to get free money. So alas, here we are. It says it looks like Christmas has come early for Gwyneth Paltrow fans. Okay. The Hollywood A-lister announced that she's giving away $500,000 in Bitcoin to Instagram and Twitter followers. She said, this is how you know we're in the future. She said, I've long been bullish on the idea of democratizing Bitcoin and making it easy to send to friends and family. She said on Instagram, adding that her gifting the asset to fans was a bid to do something special for my social community and empower them to learn more about cryptocurrency. And here's a tweet for it right here. It says, that's nice, but Paltrow is actually working with Cash App to promote the payment's new gift sending platform. And I don't know why they wrote that's nice, but she's still giving away $500,000. And of course she has some monetary gain in it as well. I mean, she's a celebrity. She's not simply giving away money, but I did something good today. No, there's some type of way that she's also going to be benefiting as well. You don't give away $500,000 without having made $5 million yourself. That's just nuts. I have no idea who wrote this article. Anyway, the point is, apparently all you have to do is It looks like follow Cash App and also, I guess, follow her on Instagram. I mean, on Twitter. And I think she's giving, I think people are randomly selected to get $100 worth of Bitcoin through this entire initiative. So, I mean, it seems pretty easy. If you can send a tweet and potentially make $100 in Bitcoin, why the heck not? Also very popular news. I don't think, is Gwyneth Paltrow still like super popular? Like it says even here, like Iron Man co-star. I can't think of anything she's been in a long time, but to be fair, I'm also only watching like action dystopian and like fighting movies, and I don't think Gwyneth Paltrow has been in many of those. So anyway, the point is, yeah, this is going to be an actual giveaway. I had to check and make sure that this was actually a real thing, because a lot of times, sometimes we'll get news that this is happening, but then it's not actually taking place. Yeah, there's also some other news as we go a little bit further ahead. Yeah, celebrities are really into crypto, and this is tying into something that I still have to do as well. I don't think people really understand exactly how deep rich people actually are into this market. I think a lot of it tends to do with, a lot of people have this idea that it's kind of these like shadowy figures who really are into the cryptocurrency market, who own tons of cryptocurrencies. Like, think of that. Think of Gwyneth Paltrow announcing, like, I'm going to assume Gwyneth Paltrow, especially if she's talking about democratizing the ownership of Bitcoin, we can only assume that Gwyneth Paltrow probably owns some Bitcoin and probably some Ether, as well as many other people. It's just this really weird. I don't think people understand not only how mainstream Bitcoin actually is. If these rich people are truly into the cryptocurrency space, they're not simply buying like $50 worth of Bitcoin. Do you remember? This was maybe 2 or 3 years ago. I mentioned this before. It was something with Kim Kardashian. I think she tweeted or Instagrammed that she had moved on to Bitcoin, and no one paid attention to it. And I'm like, what do you think this woman is talking about? Like, there was no, I don't think that there was any ad on that thing that she was actually talking about. But I was like, these people aren't spending $500,000 on Bitcoin. They're spending millions of dollars to get into the market because they can simply do so. So I always wonder how much these celebrities actually hold. And once again, if one celebrity is doing it and they end up making 4x on their money, they're going to tell their friends, and their friends are also going to dump millions of dollars into the market. Same exact thing with all the other sports celebrities or sports players, what have you, who are now taking their entire salary in Bitcoin. I'm sure they already own tons of Bitcoin. It made them tons of money. They're like, I want to make more Bitcoin. So just remember that Bitcoin is extremely finite, and not everyone can own an entire one. And we are rapidly getting to a point, I mean, we're kind of already here, where even owning 0.28 Bitcoin is now impossible for billions of people on the planet. So just always remember to pay attention to the trends and where things are going. Alrighty, let's move on. Also in the news, because it's Shiba Inu, cryptocurrency exchange Bitstamp has confirmed that it will be listing Shiba Inu onto its platform. The exchange first announced that it would be listing Shiba Inu on the 9th of December, but it came to a halt after they had some technical difficulties. And apparently, here's your first original tweet. And then they recently announced, hey, they're still going to be listing it. It's going to be happening sometime in 2022. For those of you looking at the screen, this tweet is from 7 days ago. Why this is currently in the news right now, I'm not really sure. But this was also quite popular news. Very weird. I wonder what is going on with Shiba Inu. Not in like a dark and nefarious way, but it's like the popularity of this coin is like completely unmatched right now. And we keep getting news about it every single day. Even when it comes to listings, like listing news about Shiba Inu completely takes over all the other news. We had news before that I think Coinbase, I think, added like 15 coins to their platform, and I found one article about it. Shiba Inu gets listed in the future on Bitstamp, and it's kind of everywhere as well. I mean, I get the popularity, but the amount of attention to Shiba Inu is really intense. Anyway, that's the other Shiba Inu news. And let's move on. Also sure, why not? This is to be expected news. The government of El Salvador continues celebrating significant days by buying more Bitcoin, with the president announcing a new purchase of 21 Bitcoin on I assume that's supposed to be Tuesday, worth around $1 million at the time of writing. El Salvador's latest Bitcoin investment is to celebrate the last 21st day of the year of the 21st year of the 21st century and commemorate the scarcity of Bitcoin as its supply is limited by 21 million Bitcoins. This was said by the president. The president also noticed that El Salvador's entire size is reportedly around 21,000 kilometers, which according to Bukele is not a coincidence, as El Salvador is the first country in the world to adopt Bitcoin as legal tender. So for those of you who have not been here before, I mean, every time Bitcoin's price drops, El Salvador buys more Bitcoin. Every time there's like a new building being built, they buy more Bitcoin. I'm not even joking or over exaggerating. They find really interesting times to be able to buy Bitcoin and then tell us that they bought Bitcoin. So this is supposed to be commemorative or special in some sort of way. Cool. Not that it's not cool. It's just more of a sure. I have a very strange feeling we're going to continue to get El Salvador purchase Bitcoin news for at least, I'd say, the next like 5 years. If Bitcoin ever becomes like really insanely high in price, I don't think they're going to be announcing that they bought, 38 million Satoshis. It doesn't have the same appeal as 21 entire Bitcoin. But yeah, so El Salvador now has, I think, a couple thousand Bitcoin or something like that. They're going to continue buying more as time ends up going on. I applaud their 21st day acquisition. I'm not really sure. This was also super popular news. And not to say that it shouldn't be, but, you kind of get what I'm saying. Anyway, that's the El Salvador news. Let's move on. And to finish things off, and this is how you know we're in the future. My friend, hello out there, I was hanging out with him yesterday, and one of them was like, "Hey, did you see what that rapper said on Twitter?" And I was like, "Which rapper?" For those of you who are completely unaware, and I totally expect you to not even know that this took place, he showed me his phone, and apparently Cardi B, if you don't know who Cardi B is, just type in Cardi B on Google. You've seen her shaking around before. She posted something on Twitter asking if crypto was going to replace the US dollar, which completely blew my mind. Not that she's not intelligent, but it's more of a, if you've ever watched any of her old TV shows or what she currently does and says on social media, I never expected that Cardi B would be asking if the world reserve currency was going to be replaced by something digital. So that kind of completely got me. And then Jack Dorsey replied to her that it was actually going to be Bitcoin that replaces the US dollar. And this created an entire frenzy on Twitter where some other guy, I don't know who this guy is, he tried to sound really intelligent and smart, and he was like, "I think you're wrong because Bitcoin is digital and people need paper money." And it was like, dude, have a seat, because no one's actually listening to what you're saying. So yeah, once again, sorry for the voice, was quite shocked that all of this was taking place. Does that seem weird to no one else? It can't just be me. Once again, if you know who Cardi B is, if you followed her at all over the last 5 years, she's had tons and tons of popular songs. You would understand why it's a bit, this is exactly what I'm talking about with the entire Gwyneth Paltrow thing. You have to understand, if a woman who's as comedic, out there, interesting as Cardi B is asking about cryptocurrencies replacing the US dollar, first of all, even more so, I'm pretty sure she said something like a year or two ago about Bitcoin as well. I think people are really underestimating just even how much Bitcoin celebrities actually have with them as well. And I can only imagine what the actual numbers might be. So anyway, Cardi B and Jack Dorsey had a discussion about Bitcoin replacing the US dollar as the world's reserve currency, which completely blew my mind. Jack Dorsey has also announced, because a lot of people have been a little upset with him. The idea years ago, for those of you who were not here, was that Bitcoin is the only coin. Any other coin is simply a mimic of Bitcoin, and therefore that's the entire mantra. Now the idea is that altcoins are cool. Everyone should have altcoins. Everyone should be buying tons of altcoins. I still see people in the comment section, I don't know, go outside jogging or something like that, because tons of people still write in this comment section like, but Bitcoin's the future, right? And I'm like, yeah, Bitcoin is actually the future, regardless of if you like Bitcoin or not. It's a protocol. It's a computer. It can be updated. It will be updated. It's still the number one coin until that changes. There's no actual discussion about it. But people have really gotten angry with Jack Dorsey as to why he keeps just promoting Bitcoin. It's once again, like I said before, is because Bitcoin can actually do everything that every other coin can do. It just needs upgrades, or it needs other layers, or needs other side chains. There's no argument for that. Like, this is just how it completely goes. There's a reason why everyone is adopting the Lightning Network. It's because it's another layer of Bitcoin, and this is how it works. It works perfectly. Like, the actual end transaction still solidifies on the actual core chain, and that's just how it is. So anyway, it says the former CEO of Twitter, Jack Dorsey, has outlined why he has focused on Bitcoin instead of Ethereum or other blockchain networks. This was also super popular because everyone doesn't seemingly understand why Jack Dorsey is so into Bitcoin. Jack Dorsey was quite active on Twitter, doubling down on his belief in Bitcoin. He asserted that people should focus on secure and resilient tech developments and that are not controlled by individuals or organizations. The CEO of Square and former Twitter CEO is among the most well-known Bitcoin proponents, having previously said that he would leave both companies to work on Bitcoin, and he did. His recent resignation from Twitter, Dorsey has yet to confirm such plans. Earlier today, he responded to a tweet from a popular Ethereum developer who urged Dorsey to consider working on other blockchain projects such as ETH. However, Dorsey said it's critical for people to channel their energy on truly secure and resilient technologies that are decentralized and not owned by certain individuals or institutions. For those of you who don't understand what that slight kick in the shin actually means, a lot of cryptocurrency projects over the years, the idea of decentralization, pure decentralization, comes from the fact that we do not know who or where Satoshi Nakamoto is or are. And it kind of comes down to, if something is happening with Ethereum, this happened also for every single chain. If something is happening with Ethereum, we typically hear about, I think it's Joseph Lubin and Vitalik Buterin. If they say that something is going wrong, Ethereum's price falls down. If they say that something's going great and we have a couple days into an upgrade, Ethereum's price goes up. This used to happen years ago when Tron was more relevant and Justin Sun would say anything about Tron. In 2019-18, Tron's price would go up by 17% in one day simply because he wrote like Tron is awesome. And that is getting away from the idea of decentralization because there is a head to the dragon. It happened for Litecoin many years ago, and this is why Charlie Lee left the cryptocurrency space, because every single time that he tweeted about how much Litecoin he had, he was buying more Litecoin, how much he liked Litecoin. Litecoin's price would go up by 22% around the same exact time as well. So as Bitcoin doesn't officially have a figurehead to it, there are many celebrities who like Bitcoin, or even people like Jack Dorsey who kind of endorse Bitcoin. There's no, Jack Dorsey is not Bitcoin. For those of you who also don't know this as well, it's a fairly well-known topic in the cryptocurrency space. The idea is that about a year or two ago, this is once again alleged. I wasn't in the room with all these people, but this is kind of the alleged, once again, idea, is that apparently, allegedly, Elon Musk went to some of the Bitcoin developers, the people who actually work on like the main core development team, and basically tried to say something to them like, hey, I want to be the head of this entire project. And they were like, no, that's not how this works. Allegedly, once again, we had news about this, I think, earlier this year or last year, that allegedly he threw a tantrum, got really upset, and that's why he's now endorsing Dogecoin, because he basically went to the developers of Dogecoin. We heard about that earlier this year, and is basically now the ambassador for the entire brand. So therefore, he has control over something, and therefore this is why he's sticking with that project so much, allegedly. So we heard. So anyway, if you've been into Bitcoin for a very long time, I think it makes sense to you. I think a lot of people tend to exclusively focus on Bitcoin's price, and they don't understand exactly what's taking place. Like, this isn't a how rich can you be in 5 years kind of thing. This is the dismantling of the entire traditional financial system, which has been built up 60, 70 years. And it's not an easy task, but you would have to do so by simply focusing on one actual primary goal, as opposed to being like, well, Shiba Inu baby coin is going to be the number 4. That it's all distractions when it comes to the actual main focus. Anyway, so Jack Dorsey was heavily present in the news over the last day or two. I know a lot of people out there still don't understand why Bitcoin is so popular, regardless of it being so slow. I would implore you, as always, to do your own research. It's something that has to click within you for you to actually understand, because tons of people, I think, don't want to understand why Bitcoin is number one and why Bitcoin is probably going to remain the number one coin. But I also can't hold people's hands the entire journey. So this is why I always say, you got to do your own research. Let's move on. So I'm going to try and attempt the Patreon names. My throat is not doing well right now. Better than yesterday, I think, at least. I've had tons of tea. I've had tons of honey as well, like organic raw honey, kind of esque, to kind of help it. Anyway, not that you care about any of that. Anyway, as always, special thank you to my Patreon supporters, Professor Wally from Gunbot University, Jamie Saad, Blockchain Simplified, and let's move on. Chris, Hakeem Wilkins, Empire Queen, Stake It With Valor, FUDWISER, Mortified, Roman Geba, Bitcoin Ben, Arachno Dave, Tony Ambroski, The Dealer's Den, Red Plump Tomato, Wish Nikki, The Letter M, Not Brain, Captain Something in the Z-Way, Lake Crypto, Black Sheep, AJ Cut 5, Speedy 655, and Carlos was like Moba, Razi, Jojo, Shawshow, VB Nerd 21, Miguel Grolay, Lauren, The Silver Quarter, Biddy, Bare Bones, Mining, Troy, August, Space Casey, The Miracle, Paternoster, Conan, Oska, Black Day, Snacky Chan, Liquid Out, Auspicious, Agile, and Blockchain, Navarre Williams, David James, Attila the Han, Yasha Harari, Utopia 569, Moonman High, XRP, Martin Stoyer, Nostromo, John Sarson, The Animal Reader, Bibliophobia, Todd Mullis, Adam Graysick, Moha Maroni, Massive Ventures in Thailand, Jared Shiner, Wise Night, Owl, 242 to the World Bankroll Network, Crypto Artist, Cody 3D, Damien Sasuna, Richard III, Vlad the Impaler, Pax, Snake Man, Jalavodi, Jim Garner, Jimmy Fox, Minting Coins, Middle Hit, Chess Every Day, and Kelsey, Play the Esther Crypto, Bottom, Butterface, 87 for this Mouse, Staff, Bake Me a Cake, Tigger, Macho Nisa, All Crypto with Lionel, Crayola, Michelle, URL, and Bolero, Bastos. Wasn't too bad. Thank you all very, very much for your continued support. Really, really thank you. Especially in a time like this, I do appreciate everyone's support. Thank you to everyone who's a member of the channel. Thank you to everyone who's a clicker of affiliate links. Thank you to everyone who's still here listening to me, struggling to bring the cryptocurrency news. At the moment, Bitcoin's at 48,850. When I woke up, it was roughly around here. We were $200 away from $50,000. Whatever the reasoning might be, we for some reason cannot pass by $50,000, and that seems to be the golden number. And I assure you, the moment that we pass by $50,000, there are going to be articles talking about how we need to pass by $52,000 to really make the mark, and then it has to be $55,000. And you kind of know how the entire thing goes until at some point there's a whale somewhere who purchases a huge amount of Bitcoin. Bitcoin goes to 57,000, and no one's even discussing that Bitcoin was down around this time anymore. XRP is up by 7%. Luna's up by 16%. Polkadot is up by 5%. Shiba Inu is up by 3%. Matic is up by 9%. I don't think anything, well, I mean, Near Protocol is up by 17%. Cosmos is up by 11%. Hedera is up by 7% as well. Phantom is up by 8%. IOTA is up by 14%. That is now coin number 44. Why? How? I'm not really sure. There was no IOTA news. The typical way that this ends up taking place is that there's something happening in the background. People know about it. They're buying up tons of IOTA or X other coin. And and then we end up hearing about it about a week and a half later as to why the price was going up. It's always the exact same thing. There's always someone with, and I dare not even say insider information, but someone who knows something, and then they profit from it handsomely. And the graph is up by 7% as well. Yeah, that's definitely going to do it for this video. I do hope you all enjoyed. The cryptocurrency market doesn't make any actual sense. The fact that all these celebrities keep talking about cryptocurrencies, I really wonder in 15, 20 years from now, how not only how big the cryptocurrency market is going to be, but exactly how rich some people like. And I mean that wholeheartedly, because this is a perfect setup for rich people to become. And I was discussing, hello again, friends. If you know, if English is your mother tongue, or if you learned English very well, you would know the categories go poor, middle class, rich, and then wealthy. Like there's nothing higher than wealthy. Like you can be like super wealthy, but wealthy is still kind of the pinnacle. And I was discussing with them the idea that there are singular companies, one company who has like 140,000 Bitcoin in their possession. I was like, what if Bitcoin does go to $1 million? Like these companies will be, these individuals as well will be trillionaires. Like what do you call them then? Like that goes well. Like the idea of wealthy now is like, you have $45 billion. That's super wealthy. What do you call someone when they have $1 trillion? What's the word for it? I do hope you all enjoyed. I hope you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope that it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening. And I hope at this point that I will be talking to you all soon because, yeah. See you.